Hello, Happy New Year. So my name is Billy Busby, and I'm a journalist, blogger, and videographer that's been covering the cycling community here in San Antonio for the past year. And I thought I would do a quick little year-end wrap-up of some of the stuff that I covered over the past year, and just kind of give a thanks to everybody that came out and helped me make those stories happen and made them better and didn't punch me in the face for me putting my camera in your face. So for me, the Cycling 2021 season kind of kicked off with a conversation with Brandon Ross of San Antonio Parks and Recs, where we were talking about the Parks and Recs plans to open, the Eisenhower extension over by Camp Bullis, and then the eventual plans to connect the Salado Creek Greenway and the Leon Creek Greenway. Well, soon after that, I discovered Tommies and Mimosas, or Jessica Danielle, as most of you guys might know her, and her First Friday Crit race series. And that kind of opened my eyes up to the race scene here in San Antonio. So I was lucky enough to hang out with those guys for a couple of months and catch some really cool local, mostly amateur, not always amateur, bike races, man, here in San Antonio. So with the First Friday Crit race series, there's also the Lit Crit series, which is put on by Bobby Garcia. And most of you guys already know Bobby. Y'all are wearing his jerseys and all of that stuff, man. Bobby's done a ton of stuff for the racing community here in San Antonio. But man, if you haven't been out to a Lit Crit, be on the lookout for him. He doesn't do them every month, but be on the lookout for the next Lit Crit, man. That is a rough course, and I would put anybody up on that one. Like anybody that's been in this San Antonio cycling community Facebook group for a minute, we all know about the misadventures of Roland. And Roland was invited out to several races over the course of the year. So Bobby, are we sure this isn't our guy? Are we gonna claim that this is our guy?
A little sus.
All right, acting sus, bro. He had a good time that night, basically claiming that any of the new riders that did come out were Roland.
I'm the fastest man in San Antonio. Now watch me get last place. Let's go!
While we did have some good times, especially like at the First Friday Crit, all the Crit races, we had a really good time. Tragedy struck in the first week of April. So a week after the memorial ride for Tito Bradshaw, an allegedly intoxicated driver came up on the curb and killed, Beatrice Gonzalez down there off of, I think it was North St. Mary's, right there by Central Catholic High School, and KSAT 12 and all that. And man, it's just heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. And that trial is still pending, obviously, but we did see some closure to the Tito Bradshaw trial and the, Dr. Naji Keirou's case. And to varying degrees of I don't know what the right word is there, man. Like, nobody's happy about any of this stuff, but, I know the verdict for Linda Mason really pissed off a lot of people. Especially, Tito's family and friends and everything, man. A lot of people were upset about that, and rightfully so. The woman gets 20 days in jail and 10 years of probation for killing somebody. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, no matter whatever the circumstances were, she still killed somebody. And, Melissa Peoples here recently got a better sentence, but it's, there's not a perfect sentence. I know that. I agree with that. So it just really sucks, man. You guys have to be careful out there. And especially like with the Dr. Naji Keirou's or the Beatrice case, like, you can be doing everything right, and still get killed by somebody that is out here driving around with no sense, intoxicated, no care for themselves or anybody else. So while I wasn't involved with all of it, I know there was some progress made on the bond hearing, and I know Activate SA and Brian Martin and a few other members of the cycling community did come out to, some of the infrastructure updates, especially down in like District 1 and things like that. and just kind of made sure the cyclist's voice were being heard, you know, at these plans and meetings. And that's kind of what that video was about the other day that I did that, you know, everybody got so upset about. You know, it's like, I totally agree with everybody about riding on the sidewalk. It's illegal. You shouldn't do it. You know, but if it comes between riding on a sidewalk and risking your life, ride on the sidewalk. You know, you shouldn't have to, but if it comes down between one of you guys or me or anybody else getting killed by a high-speed car because their infrastructure is not in place, then take advantage of the infrastructure that is there. You know, and that's just reality, dude.
And what we want to do as a part of the transportation department is come up with a methodology by which we install different types of infrastructure based on the street, based on the design speed, based on the speed, the actual speed, and based on the number of vehicles that travel that roadway.
At least the cyclists were showing up and being heard, because one of the things that, you know, Tamika, who runs the Department of Transportation, was telling everybody was, you know, she doesn't know, and her department doesn't know, how the public feels about cyclists. And if we're not down there to tell them, they don't know. You know, so there was some progress being made there. There's a lot more work to do on that front, but it's headed in the right direction, right? Yeah, I don't want to forget about all of the cross guys, gravel guys, and mountain bikers and stuff, because, you know, what Rob Kane and Jeff Park and everybody that has done that out there at Lady Bird Johnson, man, where they basically made a, you know, cyclocross course that stays up a lot of the time, is just absolutely amazing. And they did it with the city. And, you know, that to me is as impressive. And it's, you know, they hosted the state cyclocross single speed championships here this year, you know, and man, what those guys are doing out there is absolutely amazing. And if you didn't make it out to one of the races in 2021, I know they got some huge things planned for 2022. So do yourself a favor and either go race, sign up. It's a USA cycling event, or at the very least, come out and hang out and watch some of the racers. So if you've been watching my stuff for a minute, you know I'm a huge fan of the Cannibal bike crew and what they're doing. And it's not just because they're all cool people, man, but they put on like some of the best spectator-friendly bike events ever. They just do, man. They're awesome.
27 plus miles, 6 gears on this fucking course is no fucking joke, folks. Good job, yo. And she got the mail.
You know, their big event of the year was the, you know, Crash the Course, where, you know, they took advantage of the closed streets of the Rock and Roll Marathon and went out and just had essentially a road race, right? Like a point A to point B road race. And anyway, man, keep an eye out for the Cannibals.
Are you betting money over here on the side?
I should have fucking bet money on that race. Damn, I knew that was gonna win.
So the other cool thing this year was I got to meet up with a bunch of cool people, right? But a couple of standouts, obviously, you know, Walter and at Gift 3 Feet, you know, what he's been doing this year and the stuff that he's doing, not just here in San Antonio, but around the country. You know, I think he said he's in like 5 different states right now, you know, and I know a lot of you guys already know Walter. You don't need me to introduce him, but give him some kudos and some follows, buy a jersey or a sticker or a magnet or something from the guy. Yeah, he's been doing a ton for not just San Antonio cycling, but just cyclists, cycling safety, period.
To teach drivers, hey, don't kill me. Don't kill me, I'm alive.
Last but definitely not least, so a few months ago, I covered Mark Knoblet's 24-hour, 300-mile epic ride for Erna Bike, right? And I topped the year off by being able to go to the actual Erna Bike for the holidays event, where the kids actually put their bikes together. They got to ride their bikes on a little group ride with Jeff Moore and all of that stuff, man. So it was like so cool seeing Jeff like lead out, Jeff and Mark and a few others, but you know, seeing Jeff Moore lead out like this little mini, you know, SATX social ride, you know, for the youngsters, man. And they were all so happy that they finally got their bikes and were able to ride. And, you know, it was just such a cool event. It was a great way to top the year off. You guys stay safe out there. I'm gonna keep trying my best to put out some quality journalism content without pissing off everybody. And I'm sorry I'm part of the problem. And you know, as one of our fellow group members told me, I'll get off my high horse when I feel like my point's been made. So anyway, guys, ride safe out there. Take care. Happy New Year's. Peace.